made some mistakes, and I have some imperfect ways. I admit I helped so many people, and them same damn people turn fake. I admit it was so hard to focus. I didn't go to classes. I admit that I dropped out of school. I admit that I wasn't that cool. I admit I just feel like retiring. Admit I just don't feel like trying. But all my real niggas around me keep telling me, Kels, fuck that, you gotta keep climbing. I admit it, I did. I done fuck with a couple of fans. I admit I'm a gift and a curse. I admit that I don't go to church. I admit it, I admit it. I admit it, I did it. I admit it, I did. I admit it, I did it. I admit I got so many flaws. Told so many lies to these bras. Blew so much money, pop so many bottles. Yeah, I fuck a bitch just because. Nigga, I had a hell of a day, but I admit I was in my own way. I admit I had my mama crying over me. What else can a nigga say? I admit I can't spell for shit. I admit that all I hear is hits. I admit I couldn't read the teleprompter when the Grammys asked me to present. I admit I love God, but wait, it's so much temptation, but wait. Admit to the drinking and smoking too much, but it helped me get through the day. Won't say no names and understand, but one night at the Ritz, did some shit shouldn't did. Went and fucked a nigga's bed. I admit that I did. I fucked my girlfriend's best friend. Yeah, I chopped that and back on my fence. I admit I'm sorry for my sins. I admit it, I admit it. I admit it, I did. I admit it, I did. I admit it, I did it. Yeah. I admit I trust people too much. I admit I can't say such and such, but my lawyers told me settle this, even though it's bullshit. Care to protect your career. All these people in my ear. I admit I've been tempted by drugs. I admit that I just need a hug. I admit the devil talk to me sometimes, but the devil's not who I trust. I've been fucked by so many damn managers. Why they push me up front of these cameras? All this music got invaded them and let it play me like a fucking amateur. I got a life, yeah. I got a right, yeah. Cancel my shows, that shit ain't right. How they gon' say I don't respect these women when all I've done is represent? Take my career and turn it upside down, cause you met I've got some girlfriends. Hell with this record, it ain't worth this shit for real. Ain't seen my kids in years. They try to lock me up like this. How much can a nigga take? How much can a nigga break? Just wanna do my music, stop stressing me. Please just let me age gracefully. I admit it, I admit it. I admit it, I did. 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 They took my gift and they blind me. Where the fuck is my money? Now here come this big ass conspiracy. I still got my fans, that's a blessing. Listen to heaven, just stay on my grind and that's 24/7. And I know my mama Joanne is smiling down on me. I put that on reverend. Been a grown man since age 11. Mad on the clock since 7. Rest in peace to my homie Kevin. I admit it, I admit it. I admit it, I did. I admit it, I did. I admit it, I did. I admit I'm a freak. Used to go to strip clubs every week. But who these niggas tryna say I am? Man, I'm not, and I put that on cheek. I admit I fuck with all the ladies. That's both older and young ladies. But tell me how they call it pedophile because of that shit, that's crazy. You may have your opinions, entitled to your opinions. But really, am I supposed to go to jail or lose my career because your opinion? Yeah, go ahead and storm me. Point your finger at me. Turn the world against me. Like only God can mute me. I admit that I fired some people. I admit that I hired new people. I admit that those people I fired on my mama was crooked ass people. I admit that I don't on my music. I admit that I wrote on my music. want it back, but they don't wanna do it. What the fuck, nigga? I wrote that music. I did that bump and grind. I did that 12 play. I did that fed up. I changed the damn game. So I deserve me a fair play. So put some respect on my damn name. That Wendy Williams mad with me, but I ain't never offer her no drink. But I admit that she asked me, can I get a little Hennessy? Then we both turned off our phone. We drink, I smoke, we talk. And I admit that I told it all. From my good points to my faults. She said, what about Aaliyah? I said, love. She said, what about the tape? I said, hush. I said, my lawyer say don't say none. But I can tell you I've been set up. I admitted how ever since the first day that without knowing I signed my publishing away. I admitted I was young and caught up, so blind, yeah. Said I had dyslexia, couldn't read all the contracts, yeah. And now the truth in this message, so I'm a broke ass legend. The only reason I stay on tour is cause I gotta pay my rent. I never thought that it would come to this, to be the most disrespected artist. So I had to write a song about it, cause they always take my words and twist it. Believe me, it's hard to admit all this, but I'm in my feelings about this shit. But I had to set the fucking record straight. So I admit it, I need it. I admit it, I did it. I admit it, I did. I admit it, I did it. I admit I love Steve Harvey, John Legend, and Tom Joyner. They're doing good in their lives right now. Why would they want to tear down another brother? Women show black men some love. Cause black men, we go through enough. How can we get up off the ground when we steady tear each other down? I admit that the devil is busy, and some people beside me ain't with me. I admit that I'm gonna do this music up until the Lord come get me. Now, I admit a family member touched me. Touch me, touch me, touch me. From a child to the age 14. While I laid asleep, took my virginity. So scared to say something, so I just put the blame on me. Now here I am and I'm trying my best to be honest. Cause there's forces out there trying to keep me from being the artist. I admit I'm at rock bottom, and this shit has rocked my mind. I'm calling on my hood, come walk by my side.
What's up, everybody in the chat? Just every time I hear that song, it just does something to me. And I just hear something different every time I listen to it. But anywho, I just wanted to come back to this point because I watched the playback from the live earlier, and I realized that an important part cut off in everything else that I was saying. And that important part was that a lot of people didn't know that Styx, which is Greg Lanfear Jr., used to be Chance the Rapper's drummer. Well, around the time that Surviving R. Kelly dropped, somebody accused him of rape. And when Chance the Rapper put this post out, a lot of people automatically assumed he was talking about R. Kelly. But he really was talking about Styx. And I just find it coincidental that it all happens, like I said, right after Surviving R. Kelly aired. What are the odds that this alleged star witness in this case against R. Kelly, his brother, is accused of rape right after this docuseries airs? And just so happens R. Kelly's daughter is also still following Sticks. I just found that very interesting that even though articles came out saying that the whole thing about this payoff was bullshit, this keeps being the topic of discussion in a lot of these motions being answered by the prosecution. Anyways, the last thing that I talked about on the live was pointing out Daryl McDavid and the fact that one manager by the name of Jeff Quaitnitz, who ended up suing R. Kelly for $1 million, stated that Daryl McDavid was in charge of the money. And according to what Daryl McDavid told him, he had to wait to get his money to because R. Kelly had to pay out all these alleged victims of his. So it shouldn't be a surprise where this narrative is coming from. When let's hypothetically say, what if this man told these people that because he was pocketing the money, for all we know? I know one thing is for sure. According to his former bodyguard, they began to look into R. Kelly's finances a couple years ago. And according to him, upon them transferring his money, that's when the feds came to pick him up. Okay, so I don't know where it dropped off again. Let's see. It's crazy. Okay. Does anybody remember the last thing I was talking about? I don't know if I got through the last part. If not, just go check out the site. It was just something small. But anyways, the point was it should be clear by now that R. Kelly had a huge target on his back. And just like we've seen on the internet, it's been this repetitive cycle. Like, for example, when I first made contact with Cash Jones, she told me she met R. Kelly through Julius. She saw him online. He was the type of person that was active online, so she made contact with him. So just imagine all the times in which, over the course of the years, people that have been around R. Kelly have been fascinated with the lifestyle that he's leading and will engage with these groupie type women as well. With that being said, could you blame a person such as R. Kelly being cautious when they feel like they can't trust anybody? All these people pointed out a lot of things in this docuseries to make it seem like this man was abusive, saying things like we couldn't go out the room freely, or this is net. But at the end of the day, who's to say what was going on in this man's house? But at the end of the day, as they started to slowly but surely tell the public, they had the free will to leave if they were not happy with the situation. But again, the more you start to look at the story and look at these people, the more you will begin to question if they even had a relationship with R. Kelly. I'm going to tell you off top. It's people like Asante McGee, who I believe had more of a relationship with somebody else and or was just an assistant. You have people like Kitty, who I believe was just an assistant. Why do I feel like that? I'm going to hit on those points a little bit later in this video because they already did a lot of talking, and it ain't like they can unprint the articles in which they granted all these interviews trying to be seen. In 2015, you had a lot of crazy things popping up. You had articles popping up about his manager at the time, June Brown, who's also in the indictment now. But I tell you one thing, Andrea Lee did an awesome job displaying the dynamics of a bitter baby mama ex celebrity wife. Now, I'm not going to play the video. I'm going to put my site up here so that y'all can visually see it. If at any point in time y'all want to go and check it out, you can watch the videos that I linked about Drea, and you will see just how her personality shifted. 1 minute she was talking about how good she is, keep buying all his stuff, that keeps her good, all the stuff she was talking about, to the fact of later on with the second season of the um housewives that she was doing, she's crying, talking about how she supported R. Kelly throughout his first trial, and she was upset because she felt like he wasn't supportive of her. So the more you watch her, the more you will begin to see the dynamics of her mood change, and it will be evident her motive in linking up with these people. by the interviews that she was giving way back in 2012, she was giving people the impression she was writing a book. And that is the reason why I feel like a lot of people gravitated towards Surviving R. Kelly, because when they saw Drea Kelly being involved in it, a lot of people naturally assumed this was being orchestrated by her. But they never realized that the real person that kicked everything off was Tim Savage. I don't even know what to call him at this point, because I'm just completely disgusted at him as a whole person. But anyways, in 2015, you had articles coming out saying, was Andrea and R. Kelly creeping? So I don't know if she was giving tips, because the more I sit here and peep things out, the more I realize it's nothing to give a false tip to a blogger or a so-called journalist to print up some type of article. So for all we know, she could have been out here telling people her and R. Kelly are getting back together. So imagine her fucking surprise when she finds out R. Kelly has a new young girl, and this girl he finna get married to. How would that make you feel if, according to you, the story you're running with is you're the wife that nobody knew about, and then all of a sudden, in 2016, somewhere in there, this man done popped up with a new young fiance? Hmm. Let's not forget, This shit's so crazy. I'm not even sure where. Oh me, oh me, oh me. Last thing I was talking about was the Minnesota accuser. Did anybody hear what I was speaking on? I had went from 2015 when all these this so crazy. It's so crazy. I be sitting here watching people on here talk shit all motherfucking day. All day. But this shit keep cutting off. Okay. 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 Let's see. Try this again. Okay. So let's try this again. So 2015 articles started to emerge stating that or asking, were R. Kelly and Drea Kelly creeping on the low? Were they trying to get back together? Blase, blase. At that same time, it's no coincidence that you be this is so crazy. Like, have y'all seen this do this on anybody else platform? Because I ain't never seen this occur. Like, seriously. In the previous live I did, I was kicked out, what, 6 times? In all the lives I've sat here on, I have not seen this. But okay. The last thing I was talking about, the Minnesota accuser. According to what they said, the Minnesota accuser was a minor in 2001. The problem I have with that is, how could she have been a minor in 2001 when she graduated in 98? That's the one thing about these people, is they get to sharing things on their social media that don't align with their story. But according to them, correct me if I'm wrong or not, the Minnesota victim was supposed to be a minor in 2001. Clearly, she says class of 98. They playing. They playing. So y'all saw that, right? I'm telling you. The site is at the bottom. Like, for real. If it don't let me finish, the site is at the bottom. Y'all could go down to the site and see everything that I'm trying to walk you through. I just felt like it would be better until I can get a video created to just point out my train of thought for everybody else viewing the site. But anyways, everybody saw that. And did everybody hear the question? The Minnesota victim, she's supposed to be a minor in 2001, correct? All right. So this her post and her saying class of 98. They some real assholes for this bullshit. Wait till, if y'all know any other program I could get hip to, y'all can drop that in the comments, because we're going to have to get this situated. I can't get jiggy with this shit. I can't. It's too much. I've been using the same program to create these videos for the last year, and all of a sudden it's not working. Now I keep getting kicked off this. I don't know. But let's try this again. Oh, what's she talking about? So I don't know what she talking about. All right, moving along. 98. So goodness, I've heard it's easy to hack. Mess with StreamYard. This is crazy. Yeah, if y'all know of any other programs, make sure y'all drop them in the comments. Because this is absurd. I wonder, is there a limit on how long you can sit here and share your screen? Like, I'm really, I'm really not hip with this. Let me just let it sit here for a minute to see if it's going to stay on here. This is crazy. But, anyways, try this way. So, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to explore some other options tonight. And I'm going to put this on hold. And I might just break down what I'm trying to put out in smaller videos. This is crazy. Let's see. Back on. This is crazy. But again, as you see at the bottom, that's the website. I'm going to put it in the description. Y'all can go check out everything listed. Of course, the theme we're sticking with is, where is R. Kelly's money? They're sitting here trying to tell us, if you go look it up now, this man is worth a negative $2 million. And I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. You got all these people out here doing the most. Over the last course of the years, you have all these people that have been robbing him blind, not only from his publishings, but from the money that he is supposed to be living off of, which is his show money. And then at the same time, painting the narrative to the people that work for him that he's not paying people. Well, maybe that is because they're pocketing the money. Anyways, y'all have a good night. I'm going to check out some other options and how I can deliver this, because as somebody just commented, yes, I could do frontal in front of the camera things, but I just like to let y'all see, visualize, see the receipts versus me just sitting here telling y'all stuff. That just makes it more impactful for me to be able to validate what I'm saying and why I'm feeling like I'm feeling, because there's too much out here that leads me to believe all these articles, all these women, all this has been a setup. Period, point blank. I encourage everybody to do their own research. I have included links on the website that you can click on. You'll notice on the side there's a lot of photos you could click on the sidebars that lead to other articles, which lead to other videos that I've done. A lot of people haven't seen a lot of the videos I've done, not knowing that I've already covered a lot of topics that they're curious about. It's really redundant to keep repeating the same thing about people like Tim Savage. It's only so much I could say about the fact that he's only a pawn in this whole thing. He came into the situation trying to get fame. But at the end of the day, this whole situation is bigger than the people like Tim Savage. Exactly. But anyways, like I was saying, y'all go check out the website. Y'all have any questions about the site, y'all could post them on there. There's a little tab on there where you can leave comments. Um, you could also come back here to this post and leave any comments. I'm always open for suggestions. In the meantime, be on the lookout. I'm still taking questions because I plan to interview Gerald McGee, because I just have so many questions. I've seen so many people interview this man, but they ain't asked none of the questions I want to know. I want, like for example, where she get that money for this business she talking about? What she do before she met R. Kelly? What was her line of work? What was she doing besides scamming, stalking, and shit like that? Besides that, what was her job line? What was she doing? I want to know. It's a lot of other questions that I personally need to know, because I'm absolutely 100% sure she should be more of, either they're going to charge her or they're going to recognize all these people lying. One of the two. You can't use her and say she's a victim when she was not with R. Kelly. And it's so many articles out there in which I have included that verify the fact that when the stories first started coming out, she was part of the inner circle, and she went from being part of the inner circle to being a victim. And this was she fucked up at. back to the money, right? This was she fucked up. She did an interview, and I can't remember who it was with, but just go look at all her interviews. She did an interview in which she was talking about how R. Kelly walked around with bags full of money. You know what? When you got people like that around you, to scoping you, and if you were walking around with bags of money, man, that's a setup. These type of people that's gonna call somebody to come set you up, and that's possibly what she did. So again, I got questions, cause all this other shit people been talking about, that's the surface. If you have any other questions that you think only a husband would know, drop them down below. In the meantime, I'll be out here just checking out the scenery, staying out the bullshit. Y'all have a good night.